Hello, hello, beautiful people. Mi gente bella. Welcome to another edition of Santana Says, where we talk about everything from roadblocks to relationships, everything in between, and the overall journey of life. I am excited, as always, to bring you another edition of the show. But if y'all been following, it is Women's History Month. Whoop, whoop. You know what I'm saying? Where the sound effects at? Whoop, whoop. Yes, we do though. And it's starting to feel warm. You know what I'm saying? So what's up? I'm starting to see the sun a little bit. You know what I mean?
I can't help myself. I'm going to have to mention my birthday is in March.
Oh, let's go. Exactly.
I
So
look forward to March.
it's the best month.
It's first. It's my month. Yeah.
Let's go. Right. Everybody need to know that
We
part.
call that Pisces season.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
So there we go. So we're celebrating all the things. But we are also in the middle of a series. So as a result, we are bringing a wonderful and amazing women on the show to talk about all things like their walks of life, all that. And so you are part of that.
Thank you.
Wonderful guest. And so I'm hoping that you can tell. Well, also plug. The cool thing is family affair. So
Yeah.
we actually had a family member of yours recently on the show.
Yes, you did.
Mom
Yes, you did.
Dukes.
Yes. You've had like half my family at this point.
Actually, yeah, that's your story.
She's
Because
cherry
yeah,
picking.
little one. But I legit have different connections. Because Junior really is in my mental health group, so
Yeah.
that was really dope. And then your mom, like I said, she was interacting on TikTok, which is listen. This is a lot of like firsts in general, like the
Strong
interaction
presence, yes.
and all that. And then Mama already, Mama, that's Buki right there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. But yes, now we have you.
The younger of the crew.
Yes. And could you like tell the beautiful people a little bit about you? Who are you? All the great things.
My name is Adalia. I go by Dolly.
Hey.
I was born and raised in Cleveland, Ohio. And,
Yes.
I found out that Santana knew a lot of my family.
Sure did.
But I'm a lot of things. I like to consider myself a community leader. I work really hard to try to get involved with the Hispanic community in Cleveland.
And I was like, it seems far.
I consider myself probably a dreamer. I'm a car salesperson.
Hey.
And I've worked for, a Honda dealership for quite some time now. So I'm a passionate car salesperson, and that's something that means a lot to me. I'm a ally. I'm part of the LGBTQ community. So I think I have a lot of things that I would consider a part of me that I use on a day-to-day basis. And
Oh, yeah.
things I would definitely say that I am.
I love that.
Yeah,
exactly.
I
The
am.
defined part of the identity, which I love. And what I want to start with is, okay, so the car dealership part, right?
Yeah.
Being in that business. Now, always the running joke is just that, like car salesmen,
Yes.
they be trying to sell you stuff, blah,
Yeah.
blah. I know you heard it, so you
Yeah.
might as well address the good, good people. Tell us about it.
I indirectly am always trying to sell a car, but
Okay.
it's easy with Honda. You know
Oh,
what
yeah.
I mean? Especially being a part of the Hispanic community.
Oh, yeah, we love
It's-
Honda.
Yes,
We do. We do
Honda
love-
and Toyota the same, but it's definitely easy to kind of get the car conversation in my day-to-day lifestyle. But
Right.
it's more of connections and building
Yeah.
relationships. I always say that I make new friends every day. And there's people that come and they sit in front of me or they sit next to me at the bar, and
Right.
it's a day-to-day problem, cars and not having a reliable vehicle. So in one way I ear hustle, and in other ways it just things stumble upon me, and I
Right.
end up being that car girl, that person. And I definitely heavily promote my work in the dealership. I have a billboard on Clark Avenue.
Okay, let's
and
go.
It's something that I'm really proud of because I was born and raised in that neighborhood. So
Let's go.
I'm very happy that I was able to enlist myself there. And I work a lot with the Puerto Rican Parade. So that was another
Yes.
connection we have. We knew people that worked
Yeah,
with
we do. That's
that
right.
organization, the Hispanic Police Officers Association,
Right.
and the people that work through Lincoln West, like Rosa Cruz and stuff
Oh,
like
yeah, we
that.
love Rosa.
Yeah, so I kind of was able to mix growing up in that neighborhood and knowing these people, having some of them be my teachers and
Right.
be my peers and people I looked up to, and then kind of introduce car salesperson into that lifestyle. So I benefit a lot for sure. I definitely benefit in the sense of I'm very successful and I love what I do.
So exactly. So it
Yeah.
don't feel like work there. You know what I'm
no,
saying?
it
When you
doesn't.
love it.
It does it. Sometimes of the year it does, where it gets intense. It's January and February recently was a hard time because not many people are buying. And if you do, it's because you have to.
Right.
But I enjoy what it brings out of me, the resilience, and, what you learn. I learn more in my industry than I have in any school that I went to, for sure.
Okay. Excuse me.
That's definitely, every day I'm learning something, and that's something that excites me. And
Right.
that's why I'm so committed. I've been dealership now for 5 years. So
Right. Let's go.
it's something that I'm very proud of, that I, love where I work and I love the people I work with. So
Right.
yeah, I love that.
That is awesome. And did anybody put you on to like do that? You
I
always
worked
knew?
at Texas Roadhouse for 5 years
Okay,
before. When I
get
was like
out.
15, it was my first job.
Let's
I've always
go.
been a worker. Like, my mom always instilled in me that, to get what you want, you're going to have to work for it. So as soon
Yeah.
as I had the opportunity to work, I worked.
Right.
And during COVID, when people were bouncing around and the service industry was really struggling,
Right.
one of my past roadies is what we call us, our
Okay.
roadie alumni. She was working for my dealership, and she actually plugged me in, and I started in the back answering phones,
Okay.
working on computers, and worked myself up, and
Right.
ended up going onto the sales floor. So
Wow.
I started in the back of the dealership and ended up really liking what I saw and
Exactly.
moved my way up there.
Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
And as a background, so like a lot of people come on who are from Cleveland because, that's my, what I mean? That's
Yeah.
my city, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's where I rep and all that. But what's interesting is they think that I'm like only local.
Yeah.
And so like sometimes they talk about things as if like people don't know, like there's a lot of people that listen that are not from here.
Yeah.
There's actually like several countries that like listen as well. And so I would love to put a plug that the mom that you spoke of that's Motes.
Yeah.
And so like also Rosa, but known as Motes. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying? Like
yes.
everybody knows her as Motes. And also was the episode, like I believe that was 52. It was definitely the episode about like actually unwrapping lessons
Yeah.
was the series that she was a part of. So y'all should definitely go back and check that out because period. So we can because I think it's so cool that we get to have like full, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like so
of
you can have that
course.
background.
Crossover episodes.
Yeah, you know what I'm
basically.
saying?
Yeah.
Check it out. And a lot of people, what's interesting is I shared about like the divorce part that she
Yeah.
spoke about. Like a lot of people really like they was feeling that one. You know what I mean? So like
Yeah.
I guess a lot of people have had to start over and they were like really but I love that you said that. With that being said, there have been certain values that your mom definitely has instilled, that being
Yeah.
one of them. And I was gonna say it had to be instilled because listen, usually millennials, or young people in general. I don't even know if you in the millennial too or no.
I
You were
think
different.
Gen X, I think. Yeah.
Okay,
I'm a 99
it's different.
baby, so.
Oh yeah, see,
Yeah.
that's great. That's how I know I'm getting old though.
Yeah.
But yeah, and so like it's a different time. But you've been working for a minute at places. That's
Yeah.
not usual. Usually it's like 2 years or like
No,
one.
She had me when she was very young. She had me at 16 years old. And there were times where she was going to night school and then
Yeah.
working at Wendy's.
Right.
And that was how she was able to provide for us, me and my brother. She ended up having another kid like 2 years later. So she was a teen parent with 2 kids. And when I was growing up, she didn't have a lot of the stuff that other people had. And she didn't have a lot of the resources that other people had. She had plenty of help, but money's really important. And
Yes, it is.
when she was cut off from being, having the opportunity to do what she wanted to do and, go forth in a different type of career path, she went with the way that was going to be able to provide for us.
Right.
And that made it to where when we wanted things, we had to work for those things. We weren't allowance kids for sure.
Okay, I feel it.
It wasn't, $5
No
a
handout.
week. We
Right.
were doing chores because we had to. And when we had the opportunity to get some money, we were very grateful for it.
Right.
We loved Christmas. We loved birthdays. We loved when we could go out to eat or go bowling.
Right.
She didn't lack in any way, but when we wanted something extra, the things that, me and even my brother now, where we have jewelry and he has nice shoes and I have great clothes and stuff like that, that was something that we had to work a little bit harder for. So,
Yeah.
and I just kind of took over the narrative and was like, we'll go to work. And it was
Yep.
it was a good opportunity for me. I got a car at 17 and
Okay.
I paid for that car, I put 4 digits on the board for that.
Dang.
And
That's
each
what's
of
up.
those investments I was able to transition into another investment. There was definitely some bumps in the road.
Of course.
I left home early, but if she wouldn't have instilled that independence in me,
Yeah.
I probably wouldn't have had the confidence to leave.
Right.
So maybe I would say that I kind of acted out a lot for the things that I went through, but because I acted out, I also did work, and
Yeah.
it kind of was able to like send me off into that direction that I went in. But if I wouldn't have been so independent, I probably wouldn't have been that kid that was 16, 17, like I'm gonna go and I'm not gonna come back.
Right. No, this is true.
So in some ways, there was a lot of positives that came from it, my work ethic now and what I have
Right.
now. And in some ways, I did leave home very young, and some days I regret that, and some days I don't. But a lot of that independence was able to arise. That like strong-minded.
Let's
young
go.
person that I
Absolutely.
was, for sure.
Right.
Yeah.
And that's what we got to start with the accolades. So, like, you know what I mean? And giving kudos because, listen, 17.
Yeah.
That is huge, though. Like, some people, I'm not going to lie because I do work at a high school.
Yeah.
A lot of babies, but a lot of them are not thinking about buying cars, you know what I mean? Or, like, setting
Yeah.
themselves up. Some of them still have no idea what they're about to do, y'all. You better be getting to class. But, you know what I mean? Like, figuring it out. And, I mean, and you're allowed, but that is an incredible accomplishment, you know,
Yeah.
to have already done
I
and
was a
early
bus kid.
on.
I was a
Okay.
bus kid. She told us to ride the bus.
Right.
So we went to school.
Yep.
I went to high school on the east side. I went to John Hay High School. I lived on the west side.
Okay.
And I took the bus, and I took two buses sometimes. I took, a train, and then I took a bus to school, and then I did it home. And getting home at 6 o'clock when you're out of school at 3 is not the business. So,
Right.
I was working. I was like, I'm going to work for a car. And
Right.
I definitely had some help along the way. Like, there were people that put me in the right direction.
Right.
But I worked for that for sure.
Yeah, yes, you
I
did.
worked for all that. I paid the insurance. I did
Let's
I
go.
did my due diligence to make sure. And I ended up crashing that car.
Oh, no, really?
I crashed that car
Oh,
like
no.
maybe a year and a half later, but it was a lesson.
Yeah,
know,
it
and
was. I'm sure it was.
I did my best. I take care of my cars now.
Hey, that will not happen again. Yeah,
And it was my car to crash. So
that's true. Nobody
I-
else's.
I
Yeah,
will take that, and I'll take that lesson any day.
yeah.
Keep it in my memory. But
Let's go. And and two things that I relate to too, right, is that definitely, of course, like similarities I hear in the journeys too, like as you're talking about things. And of course there's differences because we unique people. But like what I also found remarkable is I did say I used college as my way to leave the house, but like I was big on like once I leave, I'm not trying to come back. So I definitely felt similarly. I was like, yeah, sorry. Once there's a way, I'm not trying to come back here. No offense to her, but it's just like, listen, I love you, but I need to do me. And so like, how can I do that? That was one. And then also I didn't have a car crash, but like my first vehicle, my parents did look out. It actually was a gift to me. And so that was something they gave me, but I wasn't able to appreciate it. And mine was actually repossession. They repossessed it because I got all my tickets because I was loving the speed.
oh, you crazy girl.
Yeah, exactly. So I was out here, you know what I mean? I was out here on that pedal and too many tickets.
No, as a car salesperson, to have a strict driving habits. When I was a kid, I got in trouble in that car a lot. I got pulled over a lot. I was curfewed a couple of times.
Right.
I'm an early high school graduate. I graduated high school a year early, and it was
Let's
not because I
go.
was the smartest kid in class. It was because I didn't want to be there the most.
I got
So,
you. Okay, I'm gonna get up out
I
of
ended
here.
up literally pacing myself when I left home. I was like, I'm gonna rush through the process. Didn't go
Right.
to prom. Didn't do any of that. Senior day and stuff like that. I just got my diploma,
Right,
and
trying to get out.
I had a lot of free time.
Okay.
And when you leave home and you don't have parents, overseeing your day-to-day activities, you make a lot of mistakes. And that free time, I was getting pulled over. I was acting out. I was acting like I was 21. I was 17. I
Right.
was living a lifetime. You
Yeah.
know? And all that, it probably shaped me for who I am today. So
Right. No, and I'm glad that you have like, this is like refreshing perspective on that though, because you know what I'm saying? Like that's not always easy thing to own, especially given our community, but also as a young person, because you're still young out here, you know what I'm saying? By the way. So clearly that's why we're talking about all these remarkable ages, because still, obviously it's like part of the formative years, but it's awesome that you even have that insight to know that like a lot of these things did shape. And I heard you say there were some regrets kind of, but at the same time, you know that they molded you into the person
for
you
sure.
are.
I think that I went through a lot of things at a young age that kind of made me grow up early on. I'm a abuse survivor, and instead of going a direction where I was outspoken about it, I was angry, and I rejected a lot of the love that people tried to give me because I felt like they couldn't see me.
Right.
So I think that anger and all that regret that I have from not being more open about what was going on in my life really kind of sent me in a direction of forgiveness and just having perspective, like having an open mind.
Right.
I do make a lot of mistakes still.
Yeah.
Sometimes I can be too outspoken. You know what I mean? Sometimes I'm combative with my family.
I hear
when
you.
I'm just trying to be loving. Like all of that energy that I'm giving is love, and I just wasn't given the proper tools and things in that younger time in my life to be able to be so outspokenly emotional about it, and instead it comes out like anger or my brother sometimes says my love can be perceived as like me thinking that I'm better than him, and I think he's as good as me,
Right.
and it's because of that I'm so tough on him, you know what I
Right.
mean? So but I know how it can come out in a way where it's like it can be like rejection
Right.
in that sense, you know,
Yep.
the opposite way. But it's just that trauma and, you know, the direction it sent me in, that was lonely,
Yeah.
super lonely.
Right.
It just has me so open to anything. And I'm
Yeah.
trying to, I in this day and age right now in my life, I'm trying to have a better perspective and I'm trying to learn how to be nicer.
Yeah.
That's probably what's most important to me, but a lot of people have a lot more problems than that. So I'm just grateful that I
Right.
have enough mind to be self-reflecting
Yeah.
and work on that and try to work on that as best as I can, for
Right.
sure, especially with my family.
Yeah, exactly. And no, that's a journey in and of itself. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of learning that goes into that. But I also appreciate you mentioning because that's actually, which I believe you know, are aware of. But like, I love like when we could bring on people that have like the incredible stories that they have to tell, but also the incredible story that is survivorship.
Yeah.
Because I just feel like, you know, that's my heart always goes one as a survivor myself. Because first of all, let's go. So like that's actually what led to the creation of the show.
Right.
And like being able to do that, but I think like being able to showcase that, especially people who feel okay like owning that piece, because I know that there are probably a lot of survivors I had on the show that didn't talk at all about being survivors. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay. I get it. We're all in different places with it, and I don't know that you have to own it publicly either. You know what I mean? Like that's not necessary.
No, it's definitely not part of my identity.
Right.
There's times and places where it should be spoken about, and
Right.
it's based on the person and their comfort. And I think that a lot of me is like I'm doing everything that I can to make it not my identity.
Right.
But in the same way, I'm still proud of where I came from. Like,
Yeah. Exactly.
it's that energy and that was given to me at such a young age that I am so mature. I tried to pride myself on being well spoken. I'm an activist.
Yep.
I've been to
Let's go.
DC and I've gone and I've talked to representatives about things that matter to me
Let's
in
go.
my community. So all of that, and even what I do for the Puerto Rican Parade, what I do at my dealership, what I do just for any type of outreach, students and you know others alike, all of that is what I'm trying to do to represent myself. But we can't lie and you know
Right.
not start from the root. And when the seed was planted, it was because at one point in time I was hurting, but now it's made such a better plant, such a better flower.
Yes, absolutely. Right. That harvest now is just like, yes, it's shining. And I agree. And I appreciate that you said that because that's also what I think is like remarkable about it is that it did lead to some anger though at some point. And that's a real emotion that a lot of us feel, like period. And like, even if it's not just angry about something that's happened to you, it may be because of somebody that's near you. Like, and a lot of us there is an opportunity to channel it, you know what I'm saying, and put it into something productive or to let it consume you. And sometimes it does. I'm not gonna lie to you. I mean, I was there. I was pissed about a lot of things that were going on in my life. And I had to learn how to like put that in the right place and use my voice constructively. But for a while, no. I was just upset.
It's you have highs and lows. You know, there's times where, when I left school and I was 17, 18, 19, I felt like I was on a really good path. And then kind of my world got shattered a little bit. And at 19, like right in the dead middle of me trying to be this performing adult, I ended up getting intertwined with certain drugs and aspects that wasn't good for me mentally.
Right.
And I ended up getting on a plane and going to Florida for 90, 100 days, just leaving my whole family. I have 5 little brothers. Like, I have all 4 of my grandparents are alive. So that for me was a big step, but it was just the person that I wanted to be was way bigger than that.
Right.
And I was starting to become disappointed, with the direction that my life was going in and disappointed in myself. And I was scared. Like, I want to be alive for a long time. I want to be around for a long time. I want to be, a role model for my siblings and for my 20 cousins that I have.
Hey.
A lot of that stuff matters to me. So when I had to look in the mirror and be like, yeah, you got to get yourself together. It was a tough, reality check, but getting on that plane, going and being with my cousin Esther and, her taking care of me and taking me in as her own, but also being super strict with me and like just strong arming me. I worked and I met some great people. I was in Florida. I met some of my family that, a lot of my family right now here in Cleveland, they don't get the opportunity that I had to spend 90 days with my family out in Florida. And it still has carried and trickled on into my adulthood. I'm very close with them. And it made a big impact on me, the relationships that I built. So I was able to use that. And then as soon as I felt right, I was like, I'm coming home.
Right.
Like, I'm going home and I'm not going to take this, opportunity for granted. And I went out there, I worked, I did what I had to do, and I came home and my life has been on an upward path since. So I'm very proud that I took that moment to self-reflect again
Yeah.
and say, hey, like you're better than this. And
Absolutely.
when I went out there, I did try my best to focus on myself, and I came back home and it made me a better person. So I'm happy about that. That was a good
Exactly.
experience for me.
Right, absolutely. And I love that because that's what I was curious about. Like, how did it land to the world of advocacy? Because you went, you know what I'm saying? Like, you had some stuff, like you said, you had a lot of experiences that made you grow up, forced that quickly, but also there was some like pitfalls and all those things.
yeah,
but
for
man,
sure.
clearly you found the way, you know what I'm saying,
tried
to
my
make
best.
it.
Yeah, it was, I don't think I had a lot of confidence in myself. I was still so close to that happening to me, and a shoe dropped, and then it felt like everybody knew.
Yeah.
To me personally, and I ended up just feeling like I was at rock bottom, and not feeling like there was something out there better for me. And it was like I had to sit down, and then people are always saying like, you're so good at this, you're so good at that.
Right.
There's so much positive things, in my life that have been brought to me and to my attention growing up in school, especially gifted programs and stuff like that in the
yes.
Cleveland School District. So like I've been told my whole life, like there's something out there for me. And feeling that low, I was like, yeah, I do not like the way this feels. I don't like the direction I'm going in. I don't like, and that path that I'm on. And that moment was when I decided to go to Florida. And when I did go to Florida, everything changed after. I missed everybody so much
Oh, yeah.
that it really like pushed me to want to get my shit together. For
Yes.
sure. Because I not only have family, but I have friends
Yeah.
that mean a lot to me when you leave home at such a young age. Like I have sisterhoods, you know what I mean?
Right.
And I don't have any sisters. But I have friends that have become my sisters, and it's those relationships that have helped me in my life when I didn't feel like I had my family to depend on.
Right.
And while they are extraordinary, while I have all four of my grandparents, while I have my mom and my dad, like there's some bumps in the road, especially on both sides. I can't say that I haven't had equal fallouts with both of my parents. Like, and those friends really like became family for me, and I missed everybody so much.
Yeah. Had to come back.
Yeah, it really turned a corner. I turned a corner for sure.
Right. And made you, and I love it. I mean, I'm glad you're also home and that we get to now benefit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? From that. So
I
like,
love it here, so
yeah, come on, Cleveland. That's what I'm saying. Y'all
it
gotta
means a lot to me.
understand.
This
Right.
city means a lot to me. I've got so much memorabilia. I'm a Cavaliers fan. Like,
Oh, yeah. They're doing great.
Yes, they're doing.
I mean,
incredible
I need
right
that
now.
land, that one, that like baby blue one, the land jersey. I need that.
I think I got one coming. I don't know.
Oh, snaps.
I don't know. I don't think I got one coming though. I've been asking for it. So.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's on your list?
This is my
Oh, so let me do that too. It's on my list, y'all. So if somebody want to bless me. Yeah.
It's on the list.
Okay, that's what's up. But your birthday first, so you get it first.
Yes, yes.
So like,
I've been very, very happy with what the city's been doing. So
Yeah.
I'm hoping that we stay on a positive path. Maybe not so much the Browns, but everything else.
I mean, yeah, we got to include them in the conversation, I
Yeah.
guess. But it's like one day, I guess.
We're
Y'all are
cemented
gonna. We're just gonna, yes, but
cemented in.
exactly. No, but our city is, no, it is a great time. And apparently, when you came back, you found your swing mightily because
Yeah.
apparently you got involved in a lot of things, like you said. And that's, I just think survivorship to advocacy is dope. Like that road and that pathway. And again, not everybody got to do it. It also ain't your burden to carry. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? If you're also like, listen, I survived it. That's enough for me. Like, I don't need to like be the one, you know what I mean? Be part of all the movements. You don't have to.
Yeah.
But like for those of us who do like and are very like passionate about those things and advancing those movements, it is a really dope way to put your energy into something that impacts a lot of people more than just you. And it's awesome that you eventually found your pathway to that. And it connected you to a lot of movers and shakers in this city.
Yeah. I think that it really led to the activism part when it goes to the LGBTQ community.
Yes.
Being a part of that community really, it's my identity. It's who I am.
Absolutely.
And I try my best to advocate for, the way that people treat us and our equality,
Yep.
in work environments, in school, in
go.
sex education. That was a real big thing growing up as a kid, making
Yes.
sure that stuff was properly taught to my siblings and my cousins.
Right.
And I went to DC for that because that's what mattered most to me. But like you said, it was that survivorship in me that made me like, yeah, you're going to speak up. Because
Yep.
there's been times in your life where you haven't spoken up and you
Yep.
regretted those moments. So now I use the things that matter most to me, and I speak up as much as I can. And like I said earlier, sometimes I could think that that's a positive thing.
Yeah.
And in other times, I can be a little bit combative. I'm a great arguer.
Oh, yeah.
I probably could have been a great lawyer in another day and time. And
right.
one day I think I could be in politics.
Hey.
Especially because my city means so much to me, and I'm passionate about what the city has to offer, especially the Hispanic community. And so all of those things, those directions, they lead back to all of those incredible people that I know.
Absolutely.
And it's just relationships. I love building relationships.
Yes.
I was growing up in a neighborhood where people looked at me and they'd tell me that I look like my dad. Like, hey, I know your dad. Or, hey, I know your aunt. Hey, I know your cousin. I know this and I know that. And I wanted to be the person that they knew instead.
Yeah.
So it's nice that I can go, I know Dolly. Like, that's
Right.
Dolly. Oh, that's Dolly. Oh, that's Car Dolly. That's, this Dolly. That's that Dolly. That's Puerto Rico Parade Dolly.
Yeah.
So all those names I love a lot more. One of my friends calls me Billboard Dolly. So
that's a fun one.
all those little names that are thrown at me, it's a lot better that they're mine instead of, those family members of mine. And it's nothing that I'm ashamed of, but it's something that since I was a kid, it's meant a lot to me to try to establish and kind of stamp myself and cement myself in my community. Because
Let's go.
Even seeing that, there's a sense of jealousy. Like, hey, I want to be that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So if I can do it, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna work for it. I'm gonna step out of the box, go up to people, introduce myself to people, go to those events, pay the money, pay the ticket, because it matters to me to get my face out there and show people that I can help out with a lot of things, especially when it comes to survivorship, but also in other aspects when it comes to business and marketing and just working together for a cause. Like, I love working on special projects. All those matter to me. And that's another, just like, I consider that a hobby.
Yes.
It's not, and that's work. That's real work. But I like doing that type of community work. So whatever I can do to meet all those amazing people.
Yeah, absolutely.
And, I'm very proud of my address book for sure.
Right.
I want to keep building it up. I want it to be thicker and thicker. But where it is now, like at 26 and that 5-year plan that I have for myself, I'm very, very happy with the outcome that I'm at. And I'm right on track to have the future that I want.
Right, exactly. Okay, hold up. Come off all your plans. So we're about to get into that in a second. But I also wanted to say that, like, I do love that. Because also, speaking of our families, your family knows my brother, Pedro Perez.
Yeah.
And so, like, which he keep joking about being on the show. He ain't never coming. But we gonna see. Maybe one day he'll bless us. But, like, I always grew up as Pay's little sister. So, like, that was always annoying to me, too. I love him. I love you, Pay. But I wanted my identity, too. And I feel you. When you said that, I thought about that. I was like, I was so annoyed that was always... Because in my case, my biological father was not in the picture. People knew him though. Yeah. So like everybody knew behind my back who my biological father was. I'm like, y'all know more than I do. Okay.
Yeah.
But he wasn't necessarily around. So I didn't get that comparison, but I do look just like that man as well.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Exactly. But the pay thing, yes, because he's so much older than me that a lot of people thought he was my father. Oh, so like, yeah, I had that before too. And then I've had, hiding behind his shadow. So I agree with you. You gotta bust out of that. I loved being able to be like, no, but hello, you know what I mean? Welcome. And so like know who you are and all those things. So I love it. I love that you were able to do that. And that those things form part of your identity. And I definitely want to hear about this 5-year plan because I love that.
Yeah.
But you named a really great thing, and I want to make sure that we highlight it, is that LGBT. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, at the end of the day, you're an advocate for many things, including that.
Yeah.
And, you also are Latina at the end of the day. So, Latinos, LGBT issues, we aren't always the best at having the conversation or like really understanding that like whether it's an issue that people want to engage with or not is here. So sorry, you cannot just escape it or like try to like quiet it. And we're living in some interesting times, 2025.
Yeah, we are.
So I'm just curious how your journey has been showing up as the advocate that you are.
I'm one of the lucky ones.
Okay, let's go.
I have all 4 of my grandparents. Thankfully, I have some great grandparents.
Yeah.
My great grandmother's in Puerto Rico as we speak. I have, my parents and my family members, and I had no negative reactions to coming out at 14 years old.
That's what?
And I'm extremely grateful for that. Yeah. It was, there's some things that, my grandfather, he's a little bit older and a little bit more conventional.
Right.
He may have voted on the side that people are interested in and things like that, but that doesn't define my relationships. And that's something that's always been, it's about respect.
Yeah.
And I get a lot of respect from everybody in my family. They are, super supportive of the road that I took. And everybody knows that I went through a lot to get here. Yeah. And growing up, my coming out story wasn't such a big deal. And I kind of wear my sexuality on my sleeve. Yeah. Like, it's not really any secrets, and I've been like this since I was a kid.
Yeah.
So when you're younger, they call it tomboy. You know
Yeah,
what
of
I mean?
course.
But
Yes.
people had their suspicions, especially the directions that I was going in and the things that I liked. I played
Right.
sports, and that's not a negative thing at all. But like what you decide to wear to practice,
Right.
that's something. And I was allowed to be creative and dress myself, and I've always dressed like this. So people like to say that I wear my sexuality, out in the open, and I'm okay with that. I like wearing my suits, and all those things that I when I go to shoes, I like some Dunks, I like some Nikes, I like my
Right.
jeans. I shop in the little boys section, so I spend a lot less money on my clothes.
Okay, but hold on. And the J's be like way more,
girl,
cheaper.
my
Hello, I'm a
4.5 and
6Y.
kids, yeah. So
Yeah.
I have no problem with the way that I dress, and my family's never had a problem with it either.
Right.
I've had an extremely grateful, or I've been very grateful for my process with my family, and they've been very supportive. My girlfriend now gets along with everybody.
Okay, let's go.
She speaks Spanish, and they love that.
Oh, that's helpful.
She cooks, she cleans, they love that.
Oh, yeah.
She's a hard
She could
worker.
come. She's
so,
invited.
Yes, she's invited. She's stamped, and they love her, and she doesn't get any negative feedback in regards to our relationship. We are PDA. We kiss in public. We hold hands.
Yeah.
We're very outspoken about our love. So, with that being said, I don't ever have to hide any of that. Everybody's very good to me. But I did watch a lot of my peers growing up, and I did see what it was like for a lot of people in my community.
Yeah.
So getting involved, and I actually intertwined the LGBT community and my Hispanic roots, and we were able to start the first ever Latin Pride float for the Puerto Rican Parade.
Okay.
In 2022, I was a part of that project.
Yes.
And the LGBTQ Center hooked me up with Marisol Martinez.
Oh, yeah. We love her.
made
Side queen.
Yeah, and so we made the first ever float. We had a whole team of people to come together. We got some sponsorships. My dealership got involved, put some money together. And that was my first real, foot into the community of just outreach and marketing and ambassadorship.
Yeah.
But it was taking both of the communities that I'm passionate about and bringing them together. And we did that float together for 2 years, and now it's its own thing.
Yeah.
People are taking over the project, but that's just something that I wanted to work for or work to.
Yes.
And it's something that has helped me, and I cemented my way into other things that I've been doing.
Yeah.
And all those other people that I've met. So
exactly.
I've had a great experience with my family, and that was helping and making me so confident.
Yes.
And making me be so outspoken and get involved the way I am. I think that I'm the perfect person to spearhead things like this.
Yeah.
Because of how just confident I am about all those things and how much love I have for it. I'm passionate about it. And all those things came from the way that my family raised me, and I'm grateful for that. So I was one of the lucky ones. And while there are people that weren't as lucky as me, I do know that there's more people that are getting there.
Yeah.
Families are changing. Relationships are changing. Kids are changing.
Yeah.
My kids, my era, the people my age and younger than me, they're speaking up. And
let's go.
I'm here to advocate for that all the way. And I see it in my cousins. I see it in students. I see it in kids that I know. And it's exciting.
Yes.
Because it's the new generation. Just like you said, we're in dire times, but there's a million of me.
Yeah,
There's a million
I feel
people
you.
passionate like me that have been through a lot, that have the actual footwork in the field.
Let's go.
To get into the game and start speaking up and just advocating for what matters to them. So I'm excited. I'm seeing it in everything that I do.
Exactly. I love that.
Yeah.
And I love too, we have a lot of entrepreneurs and all the little creatives that also come on the show, which we love. Every walk of life, come on, it's welcome. But it's also, what I really love about what you said too is that the merging of all of the different passions. I got so excited I moved the mic.
Yeah.
So mergings of all the passions put together.
Yeah.
And all those things. But also what was really cool is, because you do work for a dealership and also essentially in some aspects a corporation, what I'm saying, nonetheless, which also we know that America, has a lot of those.
Yeah.
But was using it for a good cause. So you were able to find a way to, what I mean?
Getting lucky. That's what it is.
Well, hey.
But I'm looking for the right opportunities that fit me.
Yeah.
So I work for an exceptional company that supports me. They allow me to be creative.
Yeah.
We've been through ups and downs together.
Got you.
And I feel supportive from them. And I feel it that they actually mean well in the things that they've helped me work toward.
Right.
And in the little things that they've given me in return. I didn't ask for that billboard.
Yeah.
I just woke up one day and, my boss said, you're going to see something when you're on your drive home. And it was a billboard with my face on it.
Yeah.
And it was, I think that was a testament of just all the hard work that I was doing and them seeing that it actually was making a difference.
Right.
And so they decided to, put something into that, invest a little into me. But
Let's go.
I invest into them every day. Like, I'm passionate about our product.
Right.
And I think that in return, they invest in me and they are just as supportive. So
Yeah.
I'm just lucky again where I'm in a place that I found that I want to keep that good thing going.
Yeah.
It's the grass is not always greener on the other side. You know
Right.
what I mean? Like, there are some ups and downs anywhere.
Yes, of
but
course.
I really do enjoy where I work. And I think that's a testament into all the
helps.
good things that I've been able to make from where I am.
Absolutely.
All those seeds that we're planting together.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I love. So that's why I'm like, it's definitely alignment is what it sounds like. You know what I'm saying? When you know what you're doing, you know what I'm saying, what you're passionate about, and a lot of things are working in your favor to do that. And it's been great, like that you can have that blossom as a result. So it's definitely something great that's, been able to be cultivated. But I do love that when, companies can do that, period, like can pour into their employees. So like that, I brought it up to say that sometimes, we have the entrepreneurs, we have the people that do all those things, but sometimes your jobs can look out, you know what I mean? And so like sometimes they're willing to pour into these different projects. Some of them also cover like leadership development if you want to do that. Some of them actually cover therapy, you know what I mean, in some cases. So like, I know not all, you know what I mean, but there are some that also provide these great opportunities. So I'm glad that you also, could take advantage of it and did.
It's a part of me saying like that our era really like we want what we want.
Yep.
And it's not hard to get that. Like,
Yeah.
It isn't. You could just go from, it's not going from job to job, but like you could try other places, see other things.
Right.
And once you find your niche, your place, your passion, your this, your that,
Yep.
you stick with that.
Yeah.
And if it's working for you, then, you continue moving forward. And if it's not working for you, this is that day and era where we're going to go out there and we're going to seek something else, or we're going to look at what's out there for us.
Let's go.
We do deserve that. And
Yes.
I have, I've been able to be outspoken about things, say what I want to say in the respectful manner, that professional manner.
Right.
And I've developed more as a worker, as a person, as wanting to be a leader. Like that's something that's really important to me. And they've helped me with those developments because being a leader is a really big part of that plan that we were talking about.
Right.
And getting to that next level in the car industry, which is learning about financing, numbers, and being a business manager overall. And they are always supportive of my aspirations. So
which we love. Hello. So that's good. So that's amazing. And I also love that in the midst of you saying all that, that you've also just, I love that you can show up as you. You know what I'm saying? You're going to be you no matter what. So it's just great that you don't have to hide that.
Yeah.
And I love that, let's be clear, since we are talking about Women's History Month and all these things, that there is opportunities to also shatter stereotypes. Because that is the other thing. Like sometimes women in the past have been put into similar boxes and like they need to show up as the one way, but they don't.
Yeah.
And like, come on now, women are multifaceted out here. What's up?
Well, I'm seeing it everywhere I go that we're taking over. And, I'm a feminist in the best type of way.
Right.
And I've got my mentor, like my overseer of work, my general manager is a woman.
Yeah.
And
let's
in
go.
a predominantly male environment. Like
Right. We
that's
love
something
that.
to look up to. And the things that she says and, the outlook that she's given me, the professionalism she displays on a day-to-day basis. Like,
Yes.
That's her work. That's her drive. That's what she's done to get to where she is.
Right.
And then you see that it's achievable.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
That's the other positive that came from it too, is that I, as a woman, see that it's achievable.
Yep.
And we have that, situation where we're double minority, triple minority. 'Cause
Yeah.
I'm LGBT, I'm a woman, I'm Hispanic, I'm a woman of color, and you're a woman of color. So we experience hurdles every day.
Absolutely.
And the more that we see people like us out there achieving the thing that we want, it helps the youth. It helps even people our age, our peers.
Let's go.
Want to be aspire for other roles and
Right.
other positions, other ways of life.
Let's go.
That are maybe more predominantly male, if that's the word that.
Yeah, we gonna go with right,
Yeah,
right. That we gonna
route.
use, yes.
Yeah.
Yep. But I agree, and it's just good that we know that like as a result we can take up space. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna take it up as productively as we can, and we deserve to do that to advance, whatever messages, and to be able to do it in a way that really is gonna help us advance us because we do deserve. But as a result, yeah, maybe a little bit more difficult given the hurdles that we've had that are unique, given the multiple, like you said, the multiple minorities and spaces. But that also doesn't mean it's impossible. If anything, it's given us that resilience resiliency. We're going to show up and we're going to figure it out. And we can definitely do that together too. So I love that, like you said, the power of those relationships do help.
Yeah.
I agree with you. Can't do nothing in silo by yourself. It definitely helps to meet those right people that can help you take those things further.
And in that workspace, I have a really good environment. We all get along very well. You know,
Oh, yeah.
There's salespeople, there's managers, there's the technicians, there's this, there's that. And everybody's just, we're a well-oiled machine. And we enjoy each other's company. So
yeah.
that's a
Come
good
on, that
place to
helps.
be at.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's a good place to be at.
Right. But then, so apparently you've done a lot. You know what I'm saying? So you've lived a lot, literally have done a lot, have met a lot of great people, but you didn't mention that you have like these plans. I mean, I know you ain't gonna share all of it with us, but I am so curious, like what you got, especially
in the industry that I'm in. I guess the direction that you're going in is that you're always trying to achieve greater and be, you know, in management.
Right.
But I definitely the community work that I've done is just pushed me in a direction where I'm gonna always fight for the things that matter to me.
Let's go.
And the older that I'm getting, and you know the direction that the world's going in, I'm passionate about a lot of political views, and it makes me want to kind of fight for some community work, get involved, city council type things, and eventually, I always kid about being the mayor of Cleveland, but it's a dream. Like, to think of it in an aspect of being able to walk around and you see Justin Bibb smile, and he's got that aura. I guess. And you know that Frank Jackson aura. So but it would be not just for aura. It would be because I love the city where I was raised. You know, I've heard a lot growing up. Like, I can't wait to get out of here, and like I can't say that I've ever been that kid.
There you go.
I can't say that I've ever been that kid. I liked the winters. I like how cold they get. I like how I like how beautiful the summer gets. I like waking up at 8 a.m. and going to Lake Erie and putting my feet in the sand. And
let's go.
I like fishing with my cousins right on the piers and just all that. I like going to Tremont all the time.
Tremont is
my
dope.
whole life.
I
love me some high and dry and some duck pin bowling.
Right.
We got Barrio.
We do have Barrio. Yep.
So I love my city, and I've loved my peers for a long time, and there always needs to be a voice for the voiceless. And I just feel like in my 5 to 10 year plan, there's going to be a call and a need for me to be somebody that's outspoken, and I'm ready to take the challenge.
Let's go. Exactly.
So it's not a plan, but it's an aspiration.
Yeah, and a vision, which I love.
It's a vision. That's
yes,
like
exactly.
That.
See, and we love that. But I know, and also, and actually, that is what was impressive to me about Justin Bibb, since you just shut him out. You know what I mean? He's young out here too, so like that was kind of impressive. I'm like, all right, we got a little young, for sure. It is super dope to see, and I love that you even have those aspirations. Period. You know what I'm saying? And like naming something. And actually, speaking of, I'm not saying like the show is the reason why this person did it. They just so happened to talk before, but there was somebody on the show that is now running for city council in Glenville. So what's up? Shout out Lana Bell. Check her out. She's actually having her campaign. Yeah, it's happening. And I thought it was dope. She couldn't talk about it too much because at the time it was still under wraps. But now I can say it. Lana's running. I was super excited. And I think it's dope because we need also just new energy, period. You know what I'm saying? We need new perspectives. We need people being able to shatter, you know what I'm saying, stereotypes. And are not afraid, like you said, to speak up. Period. But that do it in a refreshing way. And I just love at the end of the day that you rooted in love, because I have said that. I said the call out too, that we should do it from those places. And then, that people that genuinely care, you know what I'm saying, about advancing certain things, but also where home is. So, like, I love it.
I think that call for me, there's a sense of, like, I want to learn more.
Yes.
So that's why, like, that, like, as confident as I am about what I want and that vision, I have so much to learn.
Yeah.
And I don't want to take the place of somebody who's working harder than me right now. And there are other people that have been through the same things that I've been through, and they're working their asses off in a different direction. And that direction is my vision. You know what I mean? But I'll follow that in the way that I can. And right now I'm focusing on me and my success. And my industry that I'm working in is really like a straightway path for that. And, you know, my future with my partners, that's super important to me. And being positive and, you know, sticking together through good times and bad times. And then my relationships with my families. And it doesn't exactly fit that vision just yet. But that's because all of that's going to help me be a better person and learn more. And so my career is like number one. But it isn't number one because I always say it's my faith, my family, and then, you know, my friends and things like that. So I have a lot of things that I want to learn in life right now. And that's why it's like my priority. But in a sense, it will be.
Yeah.
I hope that it will be. And myself being my priority and my career and my goals, that's what we're going to focus on to get there.
Yes, exactly. Oh, but you also named the good F's. I said that. I was like, I've talked about family a lot on the show, and of course, faith as well. But I'm like, I feel like I don't always bring it up enough. I'm always like, it's like a sidebar thing that I like mention. But faith, it really does drive. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? A lot of what I do is foundation. So I don't mean to make it seem like an aside, y'all. No, I'm rooted in that. You know what I'm saying? So like, that's a big part of me also. So I love to hear that. And we need them, all those guiding principles, you know what I'm saying? At the
Yes.
end of the day that help us propel forward, but they also ground us. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? They're our anchors.
It doesn't matter where your faith comes from, but you
Right.
have to have it. And
Yeah,
that was
period.
a part of something that I learned in those hard times in my youth, is being so angry and
Yeah.
always like asking God why. But it's like, it doesn't even have to be God.
Yeah.
Wherever your faith is rooted in, whether it's in your relationships, whether
Right.
it's in a better day, a better tomorrow, whether it's in your God or in something else that you believe in,
Right.
you have to have it.
Yeah.
And I found that, with my age and with that trauma, that I started focusing a lot less on the anger
Yep.
and more on the hope.
Ooh.
And that's
Yep.
where you get faith. Faith is
Yeah.
hope. So
Exactly.
that's why it's so important to me now in my age where I am. I have my cross on my neck. I have my tattoos, and I have my things that I look at in my day to day that help inspire me and give me
Yeah.
like those jolts of energy in rough
Yes.
times. But they're all rooted in faith. So
Right. Oh, I love that. And it's true though, because I think sometimes too a big argument against faith though is that people see all that evil happening, and so they're like, if there is a God, why would God let all that happen? But there is also a devil. So like, but there's also evil, period. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So again, like whether you believe in the traditional God devil situation or you believe in good and evil forces, I know both exist.
Right.
And so that's why it's helpful to have something that helps you keep the balance in the midst of that. Because there are a lot of people that, and there's a lot of darkness and light. You know what I mean? You have these opposing forces at the end of the day, and you gotta have something that keeps you afloat.
Yeah.
So like it helps to have that. So I agree with you. Like that could definitely be the thing that helps you out. But there is a reason. Like unfortunately, and we are humans who were given free will.
Yes.
And so some people do use those choices for
as
good.
you're talking, I'm literally free will.
Yeah, okay, yeah, got you. Okay,
It's
see,
like
look,
glowing in
ooh,
my
got
head.
it.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what's up. Tune in. We was like that.
That's the price that we pay to have it.
Yes.
So, and it's not a price. It's not a big price if you look at it. If you're rooted in faith.
Yeah.
It's not as big as the price as you like. As people would like for it to be.
Right.
It is a big cost when you don't have it.
Right.
And in those times, you pray for your loved ones and you
Yep.
go to sleep at night and you pray that everybody else goes to sleep well too.
Right.
But it is that free will that you're allowed to have.
Yep.
The will that I have to love who I want to love, and the will that my families and friends have to work the places they want to work and to do the things they want to do and have the things they want to have.
Come on now. Yep.
All that that is the price to pay to have all those things.
Absolutely. Right. But how to be able to navigate around that to create the reality that you want, right? In the environment. That's what we got to do. You know what I mean? Use what we can to get there. And so you dropped a lot of gems. You talked about a lot of different things, but I am curious if you had a major message, words of wisdom, if you will, to kind of wrap it for people.
I think that hopefully the message that I hope to get off from coming here is that there's so much more to do in your city.
Yeah.
And to get out there,
go.
especially if you're in a career like mine, where it's competitive and you have moments where you're in disarray and you're not knowing if it's going to work for you,
Right.
especially if you just went to college, because I didn't, but there are people that have. But there's stuff out here, especially in our city.
Right.
There's people to meet.
Yeah.
There's things to do. There's opportunities.
There is.
And
There are.
it's time to step out of your box, step out of your shadow.
Yeah, hey.
Especially if you're a young lady, you know what I mean? There's a whole group of people that are ready to team up with you and work for something
Yes.
bigger than all of us. But even if you're a young man as well, our generation is
period.
up and coming. I
Period.
turn 26 next week, and I have a lot of friends that inspire me every day.
Right.
And there's just so much for us to do. There's
yeah.
so much work to be done. So the message I think is, and that I hope is, seeing how cool this can be and how exciting it can be, but also being outspoken, how exhilarating that can be, and what do you have that's on your mind. So that's probably the only message.
Let's
is
go. That's a
Step
great
out of your
one.
box, do the work, and keep up the good work in your own sense of what you're doing too. But
Right. Which I love. Hello. I ain't even gonna add to that. It's already perfect. We love it. So I agree. I think it's amazing. I hope y'all heard that. You know what I'm saying? And use it as a message of encouragement because it's true. You know what I'm saying? We need you. You know what I'm saying? You deserve to be here.
Yeah.
And you definitely should use that, you know what I'm saying, as you can to help others because we are waiting for you.
Yeah.
So, you know what I'm saying? Basically, that's what I heard too.
Yeah.
So it's just like, it's your time. And know that there are individuals that can help out. And there may be individuals that want to reach out to you. You know, they may find you as somebody that they want to connect with and learn more from or all of those things. So if anybody did want to find you, how can they?
I'm big on Instagram, so my Instagram is @DaliaBaby. I'm on Facebook as well, Adalia Connor or Adalia Connor.
There we go.
Adalia. And it's come to the dealership if you want.
You know what I'm saying?
But in regards to contact, like all my contact information is up on there. And I'm open for any opportunities that are out there.
Yes.
I'm here to help in regards to any type of advice in the industry that I'm in, especially if you want to get involved in it. I'm not just here to sell cars. Like I'm definitely here to sell futures and show you guys that there's some fun out here in this business of sales. Period. You know what I mean? You can sell a car, you can sell a window, you can sell a house.
Right, don't matter.
There's so much sales, and I've met so many people in that industry from stepping out of the box, being at the bar, meeting the people on the other side of it. So that I'm open on all those platforms. That's @DaliaBaby, and then on Facebook it's Adalia Connor. So.
Let's go. So come on now, find a way, y'all. Tap in. But definitely, and hold on, it was the not just selling cars, selling futures. Hold up. Okay, so loved it. Come on, that's a word. So, but yes, with that, I definitely hope y'all gather, like I said, some piece of encouragement. There's a lot in there, but definitely. And I love, and actually you might be, are you the youngest person on the show? Because you're younger than Mama, right?
Yeah, I am.
Okay, so hold up. Hey, come on first. But we love it. I'm always shouting out young people, period. So like, hello, like, look at our youth. So like, but yeah, you are definitely a shining, radiant example of like everything that is, you know what I'm saying, our future and all these great things, but also just an amazing, you know what I'm saying, young person, period, that like shows y'all. Thank you. Yes, absolutely. Like, obviously the possibilities are limitless. So I'm just so glad you came on, told us about all of that, and I hope y'all heard it, you know what I'm saying, and resonated with any piece of it. So please reach out, you know what I'm saying, if anything, you heard any of those parts. I definitely thank you so very much for coming on. But yes, absolutely. And y'all, I always thank y'all for also listening, getting to the end of an episode. We're always so very grateful. I always love it, all the support. And so whether you're listening, watching, like I said, please connect. Let us know. Feedback, we open. And we're going to do it again another Feel Good Friday. So tune in.
See ya.
Thank you.